Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. It's Friday. That means it's the Rex and Robbie show. What's up, Rex?
What's going on, Robbie?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Sitting here on a Friday, about to chat with my homie Rex about Moon Knight. So that's exciting, I guess.
I know you have not been a big fan. I know last episode there was every time I saw the cake do something, and I was thinking about you because you can't stand the CGs on that.
Yeah, I can't.
So
we'll get into it.
What's that?
I said, yeah, we'll get into it, and want to encourage everybody to, of course, comment below your thoughts about anything. You'll be entered to win a contest, which we will announce on Monday's show over at The Experience. How did the 3-hour marathon Star Wars show go, Rex?
It was good. We talking about all things Star Wars. But it plus Doctor Strange stuff. But that last hour pushed it a little bit. I think everybody was getting tired. Me, John, the viewers, everybody was getting a little bit punchy after that third hour.
Oh yeah. Well, that's cool, man. So yeah, May the 4th. So Star Wars, news this week. There was an Obi-Wan trailer. Doctor Strange
I saw that.
Yeah, I haven't watched the trailer yet. Was it good?
It was. I mean, it's the nice thing about Obi-Wan is that you get a lot of that lightsaber action, which I'm a big fan of. And you didn't really get that in Mandalorian. You got some, that final episode where, the CG Luke shows up and starts, just tearing into everybody. So you did get that moment. But obviously I'm expecting that Obi-Wan's going to have nothing but, endless lightsaber battles throughout the series. So I'm looking forward to that. I was excited about it. Words that I never thought when the middle trilogy came out, words that I never thought would come out of my mouth ever. I'm actually very excited about seeing Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader again. I can tell you, I never, in a million years, when the third trilogy was going on, did I ever think I would say those words. But yeah. I've just said it.
Well, it's crazy how, since the sequel trilogy happened, how much the prequel trilogy now has been reevaluated by fans.
Yes. It's all relative, depending. A short guy's short if he's in a land of tall guys, but if he's a land of short guys, then he's tallish, right? It's all true. Perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's an interesting thing that has happened. And I think Hayden Christensen did fine in Revenge of the Sith. It's that middle one that I really have some problems with. And it's really only him and Padme. That whole story was totally botched, I think.
Well, as I understood it, Hayden Christensen was not a professional at the time anyway, right? He was like, I forget who said this. So George Lucas's pool boy or something like that. So, I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't actually verify that. Somebody said it. But you could tell. I mean, when and we're going to dig into this Moon Knight, and you think of Oscar Isaac, and then you think of Hayden Christensen. Boy, you want to talk about two ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. I am excited for the Obi-Wan show. I like Ewan McGregor. I liked him as Obi-Wan, so I'm excited to see. I just hope that I still haven't watched Boba Fett, but obviously you can watch this one without worrying about that. So
that's true.
But I'm looking forward to checking it out because I hope it's better than Moon Knight, which we'll get into. But Doctor Strange is out as we speak. I still haven't seen it, but I'm hearing good things from people, Rex.
Well, John texted me after watching it, and he was a big fan because I'd heard some negative reviews, not negative per se, but that it was very dark and yada yada yada. So I brought that up on Wednesday, and of course, John was indignant about it. So as soon as he got out of the movie, I think he's going to watch it 6 times between yesterday and today, literally 6 times in the movie theater. I know that John. Amy went. Last night. I thought she was going tonight, but it turns out she went last night. So she said she was still trying to process. So I guess there's a lot to unpack, but she did say that it did have that dark theme, probably darker than Marvel's gone in the past.
Cool.
So I'm interested to see what that's about. Wait, Amy is like staring. Wait, why don't you just come in, Amy? I know you're first.
It's a straight up horror movie, okay?
Okay, so Amy says it is a straight up horror movie.
Well, that's
which
cool.
I've heard in the kind of previews and things that have been said. So she says she's still trying to process, and keep in mind she is a fan of all things MCU. So, she's coming in again.
It doesn't mean I didn't like it.
Doesn't mean that she didn't like it. Disclaimer.
Doesn't mean I didn't like it, but
speak louder so the audience can hear.
It's a straight up horror movie. It's a lot. So, but yeah, I'm still going through it in my head.
So we may have more information on the Amy report on Monday after she's had a weekend to process the information.
Yeah, and I should have watched it by then. I think I'm going. I may go Sunday afternoon. I'm not sure. I still got to plan it out.
We got 70 days. I may wait to 70 days.
Really? Well, I've already had some of the spoilers come through for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and watch it at some point this weekend. I thought about going last night, but then I had things to get prepared for. Free Comic Book Day is tomorrow, so there's a lot going on. So this weekend, and it's also my birthday weekend. My birthday is Tuesday. So
happy birthday, dude!
Why? Thank you. So there's a lot going on, and Doctor Strange is definitely going to be a part of it. I'm excited to check it out. And yes, everybody, Free Comic Book Day tomorrow. Definitely pick up some cool stuff because there's some good offerings out there for Free Comic Book Day. IDW's got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Marvel's got an Avengers, X-Men Eternals one, and a Spider-Man Venom one. DC's got their Dark Crisis, their League of Super Pets. Dynamite's got the Red Sonja classic stuff coming out. So lots of good offerings for Free Comic Book Day. Do you go out and get out for Free Comic Book Day, Rex?
I very, very rarely get out, period. No, I'm usually working. I mean, that's another reason. I mean, I actually probably, because of the rain that we're having here locally, it's supposed to rain like today through tomorrow, whatever. I actually have a free weekend, so I could go and see it. But there's probably about a million things I need to do around my house. So I'm not sure. I'm a little torn. I'm not sure if I'm going to go see it in the movie theaters or wait for it to go streaming. I'm not overly concerned about spoilers because I'm old enough that generally by the time it is streaming, I've forgotten all the spoilers everybody's told me. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not overly concerned, but we'll see. We'll play it by ear. We'll see how the weekend pans out for me.
All right. I do want to remind everybody that me and Rex are on the Experience, the EXP. There's a link to that channel in the description below. You should go check them out and definitely sub up and do not miss our shows on Monday nights starting at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We go for 2 hours. We're joined by Rex. They have lots of great offerings, including commissioned comic book sketches, CGC graded books, signed books, rare covers, things like that, and even some vintage here and there. And it's always a great time, isn't it, Rex?
Yeah, well, we always have fun. You know, I think on Wednesday, JD was disappointed. There wasn't quite enough spam talk for him. So we're going to have to up the spam talk on Monday.
Yeah. Well, you know, when the spam calls, we arrive, you know.
This is true. It's
time to turn up. All right. So once again, everybody, comment below. You'll be entered to win a contest. That winner will be announced on Monday's show live. And when you join the chat on Monday, we draw a winner here today. We'll do that at the end of the show. But it's time to get to the meat of the show today, Rex. Moon Knight. It's all over, said and done. Season 1 at least. 6 episodes. Oscar Isaac, MCU, Disney Plus. What'd you think about it overall?
Well, if I look at the whole series, again, you know, and we've said this time and time again, you know, the acting chops of Oscar Isaac pretty much saves the whole thing. You know, it's just amazing to watch him play these multiple personality kind of roles all at the same time, and you know, I'm continually impressed. Even the last episode, I was very, very impressed by his ability to act and play this very, very difficult role. I will say this. I don't see how there isn't going to be another season 2 unless it's just, you know, the critics come out and just absolutely bash it, which I don't think they've done up to this point. And, you know, before I wanted to check just online. So IMDb gives it a 7.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gives it an 87%. Metacritic gives it 69 out of 100. I would say that's pretty much in line. Okay. You know, It didn't wow me, but it was engaging enough a storyline. And I have to again give, you know, Oscar Isaac all the kudos in that his acting made it, I don't know, the more confusing, the jumping back and forth a little bit more tolerable because you were just amazed at how he pulled it off. But the way it ended as well, there is absolutely no way, you know, they're leaving the doors so open. So I find it hard to believe that you know, this is a season finale, not a series finale.
Yeah.
But again, it was just so different from episode 5.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. You feel like you're on a roller coaster with this series. One day they take you down one road, and another day they take you down another road. So this last one was full of action packed, back and forth and whatever, which I was kind of looking for in the first one, the first episode, which I didn't get. And then the 5th episode didn't have a lot of that, but I really enjoyed where they were kind of going with it, the kind of, dealing with the psychological issues that he was confronting. Is he dead? Is he not dead? Where is he? That kind of thing.
And
so I really enjoyed that.
Right?
Yeah,
the backstory and how that.
Switched gears this last time, right? So then it became.
It's because they only had 45 minutes to wrap it up. This is one of the shortest. This is the shortest live action Disney Plus Marvel finale, which is wild to me because they still, I think, had a way to go.
I thought they were going to go. I thought they would have gone an hour 15, something like that, to kind of wrap it up. So it was, I don't know, a kind of a logical conclusion, I guess. And leaving open the door for an additional season. I don't know. I guess my overall impression was, after the first episode, I was scratching my head a bit, hoping that it was going to clear itself up. And then as we're watching it, now that we have the season finale, I'm kind of left still scratching my head. Yeah. Would I watch a season 2? Absolutely, I would definitely watch a season 2.
Yeah, I'll pretty much watch anything with Oscar Isaac. I think I want to reflect some of these thoughts. I think you're probably a little bit more into it than I am, just a smidge. Overall, to me, the show has been disappointing. And I am not an expert on the comics of Moon Knight or anything like that. But I am a fan of certain more modern runs of Moon Knight, like Jeff Lemire, Warren Ellis, Brian Wood. I really like that stuff. I'm familiar with the character from the 90s runs. I never read the original 80s stuff. There's an omnibus I got my eye out on that just got reprinted. So, but I am familiar with the character. So I don't know, man. First of all, I'll tell you what I liked about it. Just like you, I liked Oscar Isaac. I thought Oscar Isaac just performed the hell out of this show. And we will be talking spoilers. It's in the title of the video, but just so everybody knows. But Oscar Isaac was brilliant playing both roles, and then even the revelation of the third one, which that was disappointing to me, that it's already a quick Google search will let anybody know there's 3 personalities. So the way that they held that for like some kind of a reveal in the post credits, right? And then was so obviously teasing it throughout was so weird to me. So, but that's the setup for the next one.
Well,
right?
I took it in a different light. I didn't see it as they were doing the big reveal. I mean, remember, and we talked about this before, they're trying to attract 2 different audiences, right? A more general audience that's going to watch it because of Oscar Isaac and whatever else, and then a Moon Knight fan audience, okay, that's going. So I think they're trying to make everybody happy, and as we all know, that doesn't usually go well. But I didn't see it as it was the big reveal, especially for Moon Knight fans. I think it was, hey, this is what we're going to be dealing with season 2.
Yeah.
And that's why I said the way that kind of ended, there's no way there's going to be a season 2, unless something really, really unusual happens. And they were playing games with us when, it ended up on Twitter as series finale as opposed to season finale. And I don't believe it was an accident or, some intern inadvertently typed the wrong word. I think, it was in an attempt to keep the buzz up before the last episode aired.
Yeah. And and you're right. You had mentioned something too about how it was tagged as a limited series for the Emmys or something like that. Because it was putting it in a different category or something. Right. Another thing I really liked about the show was the music. Like, I thought the score.
You mentioned that before.
Was great. Like the music, it sounds like, I don't know, man. It sounds like temple music, but modern and cinematic, and it just has this like ancient and modern quality to it that I think really fits some of the lore they're using. And I really like the way that some of the sets look. Like, I thought that the Duat, when they were out there, like on their way, it's in the underworld or whatever, that looked cool with the sky and the sand. And I thought that the temple that they found inside of the Great Pyramid, where all the gods had to like meet and all, I thought all that looked cool. So I liked all that Egyptian flavor that was here. And I thought they filmed like the pyramids and everything way cool and interesting. So That's
All
another
right,
thing I
so
like.
there was something that didn't quite make sense to me in the last episode. All right, so and maybe I missed something. In a previous episode, or I wasn't paying attention, or I went to the kitchen, whatever. When did Stephen Grant learn to fight?
At the end of episode 5, he basically comes to the realization that if you know it, I know it, so I can fight. And then that opens up subconsciously access to these skills, I guess.
Okay.
But it was cool to finally see Mr. Knight actually be Mr. Knight and not just be like, put your dukes up, mate. Come on, I'm Moon Knight. It was better than that. I didn't like how silly they made Mr. Knight.
Oscar Isaac has nothing to worry about, dude.
Yeah. Some of my cons, I didn't necessarily like all of the story. I thought it was just kind of, I don't know, man. It was interesting enough. I thought that some of the characters were cool. I liked Layla. I feel like her kind of becoming her own superhero kind of like came out of nowhere. And like they spent a big deal of that last episode kind of dealing with that. I did not like the villain. Like, I liked Ethan Hawke fine in the role, but so all he is just somebody trying to resurrect this god. And the only difference, it's like Minority Report, Civil War II type stuff. It's like the only difference is we want to punish the bad guys before they commit the crime, right? So it was just, for something that was supposed to be so epic on scale, it was such a minuscule difference, I think, between Khonshu and Ahmet, I don't know, that was a little weird. And Harrow so the big reveal at the end is his cane transforms and he's got purple energy and he's just zapping people. Like, I don't know, man. All right.
You first.
Okay, well, I was gonna say that leads me to the CG part that I really don't like in this show. The CG is really bad. The talking hippo, by the way, how insulting. So this is an Egyptian god who is tasked with transporting people to the Duat and through the underworld and whatnot, right? And she's still got to look up her notes and be all silly about it. Like, come on. Are you serious? Like, it was so silly. And Ahmed at the end, I thought looked terrible. Moon Knight always looked terrible to me. The cape, what's up with that cape? Like, oh my goodness, man. I don't know. There was a moment in this last one where he becomes Moon Knight again, when he finally becomes Moon Knight again, because there's also no Moon Knight in this show. So that's like another problem I had with it. There's very little Moon Knight. But when he becomes Moon Knight at the end and he's breathing heavy, but it's like, it looks like a video game, Rex. It looks like a video game. And I don't play modern video games, so maybe more people don't mind it because it's familiar, the look. But like, to me, it takes me out of it. I'm like, I'd rather see a dude wrapped up like a mummy with an actual heavy cape on. I don't know. Anyway, what were you saying?
Well, I was going to say the hippo character almost felt a little bit like Marvel's version of King Shark.
Yeah. Yeah.
It worked in Suicide Squad. As ridiculous as it was, okay, it worked for whatever reason. And I think they were trying to reproduce that, and it didn't really work. I guess, so if I had a complaint, I guess my complaint was it really felt like going to a buffet and you want to stuff yourself, but you're on a clock. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they had so much to unpack, but 45 minutes, 6 episodes, how much can you do? And I think that's, and then it resulted in, well, we still got to get all this information out. So it felt cramped. And every episode, you're jumping all over the place. You're trying to introduce all these things.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess they felt like they needed a little levity, and that's why they created the hippo character. I don't know. But it didn't really work. No, I agree with you there. It didn't work. It wasn't, there are moments where Oscar Isaac, I forget which episode it was when he went to the restaurant to meet his date, and it turned out it was like a day after or whatever. He was lost for so long. That was funny in a darkish sort of way.
Yeah.
And that's what the series was about. So when you introduce a talking hippo, all of a sudden it's like, wait, you're trying to go in a direction that doesn't make any sense. With Suicide Squad, it worked because the whole thing had a kind of a ridiculous premise.
Yeah.
When you take Harley Quinn, and she seems like the most serious, most credible character, out of all of them, it works. You can put a talking shark in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was just like, because, you have Khonshu, you have all this other stuff, so it could make sense. but the way they just made it so goofy, like
Right.
that's what it just totally wrecked the tone of how all of the Egyptian god stuff was being portrayed to me.
Right. I agree with you. Yes. So let me correct myself. It wasn't just the presence of a talking hippo. It was the personality of the talking hippo.
Yeah, exactly. And
you know?
yeah, and you're right. It is overstuffed for too little time, and especially when for the majority of 2 episodes, Mark's dead. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in his head, and they're going through all that stuff, and it's like it didn't know if it wanted to be like an Indiana Jones-esque adventure. It didn't know if it wanted to be a psychological drama, something more serious, something like maybe Legion, or if it wanted to be an MCU typical fare. It was trying to be all 3 of those, and sometimes I think most times it just didn't work.
Well, I think the pacing too. It's almost like cramming for a test when you were at school. You know, it's like the first episode was long. Remember? I mean, that was my first impression. Like, where are we going with this? Is this, you know, we had a whole 45 minutes of watching him chained to his bed with sand around it. You know, and it just kind of slow, and then somebody realized, oh man, we only got 5 more episodes to tell this whole story. We got to hurry up. And then everything felt like it was getting more and more crammed, and it started to accelerate in the storytelling to the point where you're kind of like lost. You're pinging back and forth.
Yeah.
And so I thought the pacing wasn't phenomenal. I found that a little disappointing. But overall, I thought it was engaging enough. If they can, somehow get Oscar Isaac back, I mean, I would watch a series too, albeit with a little bit of caution in the sense that my expectations were pretty high this time around. I think my expectations going into a season 2 would be tempered somewhat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all in all, I can't say I regret watching it, but I can't say that I walked away feeling, wow, like Peacemaker. I keep going back to that. I walked away from that going, wow, that was really great.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Peacemaker
far better.
Yeah.
It was
a whole different beast,
than,
but yeah.
Exactly. It was just far better than I had anticipated. This had the reverse effect. Maybe it was a result of the hype. I don't know.
Yeah, I was very hyped for this because I love Oscar Isaac, and I was really excited to see Marvel tackle Moon Knight, a little bit darker of a subject material, and I feel like it's got me worried about certain things like Blade and things like that. Like, don't make Blade too jokey. Don't throw in vampires making jokes and monsters being goofy and silly and Shrek, or like popping in or something like that. Like, so I don't know, man. What did you think about Harrow as a villain and the whole like plot? Because it was just like thin. It was like, here's his plot, and that there was no development there. Like, usually, I don't know, MCU's villains aren't necessarily always their strength, but I didn't feel like there was much there to that character.
Again, it was the, I mean, let's think about it. How many characters were we introduced to in the last 2 episodes? It's almost, again, that feeling of, well, we can't really develop them because, well, we only got 2 episodes left. So here it is, So it once again, I agree with you. There wasn't a lot of character development there, but again, how are you going to do it? There wasn't enough time. So you go back to the same problem. Either you need to tack on a couple more episodes, or you need to make each one an hour long as opposed to 45 minutes. But somewhere down the line, you didn't allot enough time for the rather ambitious storytelling that you wanted to tell. So, I think most people walked away with this kind of disjointed view. But then you've got people that think Moon Knight was the greatest thing,
Yeah, it's true. It is
so,
true. I've seen a lot of that. So,
yeah, exactly. So I mean, definitely, I think we're going to have a season 2. It's just a question of, how are they going to try to fix some of the, I don't know, issues that I think that kind of cropped up.
And it would be interesting to see what it feels like on a revisit, like when you watch it, like say over a weekend or a week or something like that, like to see if it irons out. And I don't know.
Right. I agree with you. I think I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to try to watch it over the course of a couple of days, all kind of together, and see if I walk away with a different feel. You never know. I'll be honest with you. Last night, after I watched Moon Knight, for whatever reason, it always just throws Eternals up, right? So I wasn't doing anything, so I just kind of clicked it on, and I let it run, obviously, as I'm doing other things. It was better. I don't know. I walked away feeling that it was better than my initial impression. Don't get me wrong; it's still not a good movie, But I felt like the second time around, I felt it's better than I thought.
Yeah.
Originally. So
all right.
maybe I'll get the same impression from Moon Knight, just better, honestly.
Yeah, I hope so. All right, out of 5 you digs, what would you rate season 1 of Moon Knight, Rex?
I would say a 3.
Okay.
I would give it a solid 3.
All right.
Yeah.
3 is close to me. I want to say almost 3 because I did like it at first, and then it just started losing me. I know a lot of it is because of my expectation that I put on it to be a little bit more serious, a little bit more BA, a little bit more brutal. So trying to take that out, I would go 3 as well, but I'll go the lower part of 3 if that's an option. So like a 2.69. Yeah, well, not a -3.
No, a 3- as opposed to a 3+.
Exactly. Yeah, a 3-. So yeah, I'll do that. So yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It was disappointing overall to me. And next show, I guess that I'll be following will live as it goes will be Obi-Wan. So
yes,
that'd be cool. And we want to know.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm excited to check it out. And I also am excited to hear what everybody has to think about Moon Knight. Like Rex said, a lot of people have been enjoying it. A lot of people thought it was great. So I want to hear your thoughts. What do you rate it out of 5 you digs? Let us know in the comments below or comment anything. You'll be entered to win that contest. Timed. Speaking of contests, Rex, time to announce the winner from the contest on Monday's show. What you got?
Well, we got a Chaos hand sketch card by Ken Hazer. Nice. And as you can see, it is also signed by Ken Hazer on the back. So that will be the prize of the day.
Very cool. Clicking the button now, spinning the ridiculous wheel of whatever it is. The Creative Keep is the winner.
Creative Keep. Awesome. So,
awesome.
Yeah, be sure to enter the chat and we'll draw the winner of tonight's show on Monday when Robbie joins us on The Experience from 6 to 8 p.m. And Comic Collectibles, slab books, 9.8s, cover sketches, you name it, we'll probably have it. And, of course, always the senseless banter between myself, Robbie, and John always keeps people in stitches, I'm pretty sure, whether it's intentional or not. So be sure to join us.
Yes, please do join us for that. And then join us over at Dylan's Horror Show Saturday. That's tomorrow night for Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And then Monday night after the show at the EXP, we're covering Happy Birthday to Me, an 80s slasher film for my birthday. So thought that was kind of themed very well. So anyway.
I remember that movie poster too.
Yeah, that's why I've always been obsessed with this movie because of that VHS cover. Like I used to always want that movie so much, and I was kind of obsessed with it a little bit when I was a kid. It's not the greatest movie, but I think it's underappreciated. So, Rex, thank you for being here and having conversation about Moon Knight with me.
My pleasure, bro. Have a good weekend and happy birthday again.
Well, thank you very much, and we will see you all Monday over at The Experience. On behalf of everybody here, Station.